fuel reduction. The conventional fuel, fossil fuel, which is coal today, that has to be substantially reduced. Even today, if you talk about in the industry, let it not be only in India, globally, 50 to almost 60% of the energy is from the coal, fossil fuel. And in India, almost 60 to 70% of the industries are operating with fossil fuel coal, fully or in some parts, in a mixture. Now the government has taken initiative that the fossil fuel reduction has to happen and the coal consumptions have to come down. So the many mills in the north, many mills in India have started using a lot of the waste. We call it as a solid waste or hazardous waste, and we call it as a residue derived fuel, RDF type of oils which have started coming in. And people have modified their boiler, people have put a new boilers, and people are making energy out of the waste. So thereby, the coal reduction, which is already happening by 30 to 40% in most of the mills. So the Indian pulp and paper industry, by large, if you say that we are very much aligning to the government policies and also the global norms, what's happening elsewhere. So this conference is going to be focusing on the bioresources for the paper manufacturing with respect to raw material, and also the bioresources for the energy sector, for the power generation, which will be used as an alternate fuel other than coal. And in this process, there is a lot of research work which is done in the Indian paper mills in association with our Central Pulp and Paper Research Institute and other technical forums. And there are a lot of papers which are published, and there are a lot of findings which are going to be shared in this conference. So ultimately, these type of conferences, there are a lot of research and a lot of work which is done, and the papers are going to be released here, the papers are going to be discussed here for the next 2 days, and then the member mills, they will take all these points and whichever can be implemented in their mills, they will try to implement. And whatever is happening in some parts of the country, in some of the paper mills, it has to be widespread. And it is started as a momentum. Earlier we would have seen that the waste paper, people used to talk about collection, people used to talk about usage, people used to talk about technology. Today 75% of the people are very nicely converting it. The mills are the mills which are in north and the mills which are depending on the secondary waste, they are called like intelligent procurement of waste paper and effectively converting that into a final product, good paper and paper board. That is how they made the fiber shortage, absolutely, not a concerning factor anymore. Of course, for a very specialty grades, still today pulp is used. If the pulp is not there, people are importing it and then trying to use the imported pulp. Now this conference is going to tell, other than the wood pulp, what are the other sources available? It is not only the hardwood, there are bagasse, there are wheat straw, there are rice straw. Researchers are going on bananas and other leaves and stems and things like that, and there are papers going to be published on this. So it's going to be a very win-win situation for the the industries, for the economy sector, for the machinery manufacturers, and also for all the research institutes who are doing it for the last 1 decade. And I only say that we are excited to have this conference here in Bangalore, which is a very happening city, and the most advanced and happening city and high-tech city. And we are very happy and excited to have this the hot topic conference in the hot city Bangalore. Okay, so I wish everybody in the conference a great success, and it is going to be a very happy learning session for all of us. And the industry is becoming, for the people to understand, whosoever is remotely or directly or indirectly connected to paper industry, pulp and paper industries, that the industry is turning into a very sustainable industry. It is a green and sustainable industry. So I wish all the success. Let's have a great conference. Thank you so much.
Basically, if you talk earlier 70s or late 70s, most of the paper was made out of wood only, and that line still goes. See, every printed paper, everywhere you see one line, save paper, save trees. That is what the understanding is. Most of us understand that paper means destroying trees, making out of trees. But things changed during this period gradually. And today, as Mr. Krishnan said, that almost 72-73% paper is made out of recycled paper. That means for a layman, waste paper to paper now. And about 6-7-8% from agricultural residues. Balance 20% is of course from wood, but none of the wood is sourced from any forest resources. All wood is being sourced from farm or social forestry, where we help the farmers as an alternate income to grow trees, and we research with them so that their yields go up, their income goes up. And India being a hot country, warm country, this is about 3-4 years cycle that a tree matures. So therefore, trees have also become almost a, if not annual crop, a 4-year crop or 3-year crop. So whatever trees are used as a crop, not as a forest, because we do not touch. In fact, the law does not permit that we cut even single tree from any forest. So therefore, this impression that while we save paper, we save trees, this is not true. In fact, this is a world phenomenon that wherever paper industry grows, the forest area grows. Because this being our raw material, we help in that. And then Mr. Krishnan said that many mills have already shifted from conventional energy sources, which was coal or let's say petroleum products. In fact, there are many mills in the north and in south also, where 100% energy is being sourced out of non-conventional biomaterial. Like I come from Punjab, where total steam is being generated out of rice husk, not even a single kg of coal is used. We have our own turbines, so from those turbines generate power. We don't even draw any power from the grid now. So therefore, almost, and then on an average also, if we talk about India as such, I think most of the mills, at least 50-55% of their energy requirements are being met out of non-conventional. That is not, we don't use any coal or any, let's say, other conventional raw materials. So this conference is all about that, can we do better than this? Whatever we are doing, can we do better?
Topic related to renewable energy much more basically impact the industry top and bottom line of, and that is much more basically needed at this hour for the Indian paper industry. Now you can say the related to this topic, this is much more basically being concerned by the Indian paper industry, and the topic is related to the much more basically focus in terms of the today's condition where fossil fuel basically availability may be you can say the big concern into coming days of. So now what is the industry waste in terms of the Indian paper industry, and how best we can basically utilize this solid waste into some part of the energy which can be basically being you can say utilized in terms of their manufacturing process, and that is much more advantage to us. Related to the raw material, okay, number of things, new inventions are being coming in the Indian paper industry to be basically much more related to the new fibers, new technology, energy efficient technology. But one part is you can say in the coming the days, whatever the Ippta contribution related to the Indian paper industry.
Various different mills, who have done some good job in terms of bioresources, both energy and raw material front. So we will be discussing that. You see plastic bottles lying around, you see glasses breaking, but paper is one thing, that quietly does its job, goes back to the nature. Have you noticed that? Even a waste paper, we are claiming that 70% of the paper is made by waste paper. So that is all being recycled. Only part, the concerning part is that we don't recover it nicely. We mix it with the plastic, which is the culprit, and then we have got to segregate that to make paper out of it. Imagine, gentlemen, a paper can be recycled 6 to 7 times, again to make a good quality paper, 6 to 7 times. So telling about some results, the Power Ministry through BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, they selected few, sector-wise, they selected few designated paper plants, and they assigned a fixed energy consumption norms. Okay, and that was the target was that it is to be achieved within a specified time. And that was to be monitored every year or every 3-year cycle. And imagine, gentlemen, all paper industries who were designated and who were given these targets would achieve that. So it's not only monitoring or some legislation coming in. Paper industry has done its part for a very long time in terms of energy. Similarly, for environment like sustainability and bioresources we talk, Confederation of Indian Industry, they came out with a grading of rating the companies for various environmental projects, green efforts, right? You will be surprised that there are mills in India, paper plants, who are platinum plus rated in terms of energy. It is not, we are not telling about ourselves. These are the Power Ministry through BEE and Confederation of Indian Industry who have conducted these studies through a detailed on-the-spot inspection and come out with these results in terms of bioresources, how it is being, what renewable, because that is a major criteria, what renewable energy resources we use. So in terms of integrated pulp and paper plants, a black liquor is something which is a waste actually, but we generate energy out of it. We recycle that in our boilers. We have modified our boilers to suit the various wastages that we generate. So the waste has become a source of energy for us. Similarly, welcome sir.
And the theme that we've chosen is very, very relevant, which is the rightful use of raw materials, and both in paper making and for energy generation. So I think this is a resource which is very, very valuable for all of us, and the fact that it is renewable adds to the multi-usability of this material. We can renew it, grow it again and again, use it to either make paper or to use it in boilers for energy generation. So I think it's something which the earth is providing us as a huge amount of value, and we as people around it should not really treat this as a waste or look at it as a waste, but it's a very valuable material that can generate a lot of income both for farmers and for the industry. And the complete recyclability process lends to the entire circle of renovation and reinvention, because paper, as I think our secretary and earlier must have been shared, that all paper can be recycled again and again multiple times, lending to the recyclability of the material. The raw material that we use as is in a renewable in nature can be cut again and again to use as either paper making or as fuel for boiler. And also it helps that when we use it as such, we prevent its burning in the fields and prevent the pollution that happens surrounding the burning of these materials in the field. Farmers' income grow because not only do they get from the crop, but they get it from the straws also, which is sold to the industry for using for both these options. So the fact is, I think if we use it very, very properly, efficiently, effectively, a lot more value addition happens. And as I said, that it's not a waste, but a very material of value. And to my mind, I think the words of Mahatma Gandhi resonate in my mind, that there is something for everybody's need, but not for everybody's greed. So we need to use it very, very carefully.